The main reason the Patriots lost was that relentless Bear defense that kept the pressure on all day.
After 2 weeks of hype and hoopla, the New England Patriots and Chicago Bears finally went inside the Superdome and got down to the business of playing Super Bowl 20. There have been few distractions for Mike Ditka's Bears, who have thrived on diversions like the Super Bowl shuffle, the fuss over the fridge, and headband disputes. The Patriots arrived with far less fanfare under the conservative guidance of head coach Raymond Berry. The Bears came prepared to do what they've done all season: shut down the run, force turnovers, make a few big plays on offense, and above all, not to make any mistakes that would give New England an early edge. But on their second play from scrimmage, Walter Payton's fumble gave the Patriots an opportunity to score the game's first touchdown. Although the Pats had paved their way to the Super Bowl on the ground, they came out passing. Unfortunately for them, they did not come out catching. Stanley Morgan, number 86, slipped through a seam in the Bears' secondary and got a half step on Mike Singletary, only to drop a sure touchdown pass. Knowing full well that they should have come away with a touchdown, New England settled for a 36-yard field goal by Tony Franklin. On the very next series, another opportunity arose when Patriot linebacker Don Blackman stepped in front of Emery Moorhead. Had Blackman fielded the pass, it would have been clear sailing to the end zone. Instead, it gave the Bears new life, and quarterback Jim McMahon responded with Chicago's first big play, a 43-yard pass to Willie Gault, number 83. With the ball at the Patriots' 23, New England's defense stiffened as both Jim McMahon and fullback Matt Suhey felt the heat from the AFC champions. McMahon's tumbling act was followed by Kevin Butler's 28-yard field goal that tied the game at 3 points. By this time, the Bears were geared up and eager to prove why they own the NFL's best defense. Chicago's heralded 46 defense uses varied sets and coverages that invariably leaves one man with a clear shot at the ball carrier. Here, linebacker Wilbur Marshall is left uncovered and zeroes in for Chicago's first sack. And linebacker Mike Singletary, the field general of the 46, is totally ignored by the confused Patriots and stops Craig James for no gain. But no gain was better than what happened next to New England when quarterback Tony Eason was attacked by Richard Dent. Eason fumbled, and it was Bears ball at the Patriots' 13. Once again, the New England defense rose to the occasion and fought off the Bears and Walter Payton, number 34. Chicago then countered with pro football's most unlikely offensive weapon, William Perry, number 72. Called upon to pass off a sweep, Perry added yet another footnote to the record books when he became the first 300-pound running back ever to be sacked. Kevin Butler's second field goal then put the Bears on top by 6-3 against the Patriot team, whose game plan was to establish the pass, then work on the run. At this point, however, nothing was established, other than the fact that they could do neither. When Richard Dent forced another Patriot fumble, the Bears had possession inside the 15 for the second time as a result of a turnover. This time, Chicago did not settle for a field goal. They sent Matt Suhey off tackle, and the 215-pound fullback slashed 11 yards for the game's first touchdown. With New England keying on Walter Payton, Suhey found plenty of room to run and stretched the Bears' lead to 13-3. After 15 minutes of play, the Patriots had netted a minus 17 yards. The good news for New England, the first period was over. The bad news, there were still 3 to play. In the second quarter, New England stuck to its passing game plan. Unfortunately for the Patriots, the Bear defense continued to stick to Tony Eason. When New England finally decided to match strength versus strength, it was as if Cyndi Lauper had stepped into the ring with Hulk Hogan. Patriots were held to minus 5 yards rushing in the first half due to the domination of Bear linemen like number 99, Dan Hampton. While New England's questionable strategic decisions proved unsuccessful, Chicago crossed up the Patriots with little difficulty. With Walter Payton and Willie Gault drawing all the defensive attention, quarterback Jim McMahon directed his sights toward often overlooked fullback Matt Suhey. The forgotten man in Chicago's star-studded offense will long be remembered by New England. While Suhey cooled the heels of the Patriots' defense, the fridge sent a chill up and down their spine. The league's biggest ball carrier, Perry is also pro football's largest blocking back. Another look at the touchdown run shows that by using Perry as an oversized decoy, McMahon was able to squirm his way into the end zone. The score gave the Bears a 20-3 lead, prompting New England to attempt to counteract the brash aggressiveness of McMahon with a level-headed savvy of 14-year veteran Steve Grogan. But any hopes of turning the game around were quickly shattered by Chicago's defense. With just under 3 minutes left in the half, McMahon drove the Bears into scoring position, using an assortment of plays as diverse as his headband collection. The spirited signal caller outgained all 3 Patriot running backs. However, he didn't do it on spunk alone. A replay of the scramble shows that when McMahon spotted the inside rush of blitzing linebacker Steve Nelson, he alertly took off in the direction of the vacated area. The run set up Kevin Butler's 3rd field goal, giving Chicago a 23-3 halftime lead. Super Bowl 20 was turning into just another Bear rout. Protecting a 23-3 lead going into the 3rd quarter, the Bears' defense continued to dominate and demoralize the Patriots, with a barrage of firepower not felt in New England since the Battle of Bunker Hill. One of the cornerstones of the Bear defense is to rush so many players that they cannot all be blocked. With the offensive linemen occupied, number 55, Otis Wilson and company blew by their outmatched opponents. Buddy Ryan is the architect of this defense. and his plans employ a variety of building blocks, such as number 99, Dan Hampton. Here, number 76, Steve McMichael, established the solid foundation for another sack of Steve Grogan. While Grogan couldn't get into the end zone, Jim McMahon had no trouble getting out of his and marching the Bears straight downfield. Number 82, Ken Marjorum's reception on 3rd and 6 set up decision-making time for the Bears. Which weapon to deploy to cap off a glorious 96-yard drive? During Super Bowl week, Jim McMahon was a live wire with the media, but he let his actions speak for themselves as he jolted the Patriots with a 1-yard plunge. McMahon was as sharp as an acupuncture needle. But for Steve Grogan, his dream of bringing the Patriots back continued to be burst. Number 27, Mike Richardson, let this interception slip through his grasp. But his frustration couldn't match what the Patriots felt as the ball simply never bounced their way. Less than a minute after their last score, the Bears were at it again as reserve cornerback Reggie Phillips raced 28 yards with this tipped pass. Ironically, this play occurred on one of the few occasions when the Patriots successfully picked up the Bears' blitz. Unfortunately, stopping one Bear means nothing. It still leaves 10 others to gobble you up alive. Throughout the playoffs, the Patriots consistently converted turnovers into touchdowns. But what was lost in the Super Bowl hype was that the Bears had the best turnover ratio in the league, and that fact was repeatedly reinforced by Chicago. Number 58, Wilbur Marshall, recovered this fumble and subsequently teamed with Otis Wilson on their game day version of the Super Bowl Shuffle. The Bears made child's play of the Patriots by executing a near-perfect game on offense and defense. To the victor go the spoils, and a little bit of luck as well. Dennis Gentry's tightrope walk confirmed that this contest had turned into a circus, but the act that people really came to see was the Fat Man, and the Bears did not disappoint in delivering him to the end zone. William Perry became the largest man ever to score in a championship game, and the Bears set a Super Bowl record with 21 third-quarter points. If this was a championship fight, it would have been stopped by the referee, for the Patriots weren't just reeling on the ropes, they were down for the count. Meanwhile, that punky QB known as McMahon completed his work in 3 quarters, 12 of 20 for 256 yards, and could start celebrating the inevitable. The Bears were only 15 minutes away from shuffling off to a world championship. As the fourth quarter began, only that often overused word known as pride kept the New England Patriots on the field in New Orleans. Long ago in the first quarter, a simple Patriots field goal had shattered the Bears' dream of a possible Super Bowl shutout. Now, as the game and a season wound down, the Patriots had one last task before them: That was to score a touchdown against the now legendary 46 defense. After his costly early game drop, number 86 Stanley Morgan settled down to lead all receivers on this day with 7 catches for 70 yards. One of those set up what would be the Patriots' only shining moment, a Steve Grogan to Irving Pryor 8-yard touchdown pass. In a game when nothing went right for New England, it was ironic that their only touchdown was scored by a man who was not supposed to play. Despite a heavily bandaged hand, Pryor managed to grab hold of the Bears' momentum. For a moment, he gave the Patriots a vision of what might have been, had they not given up 44 unanswered points. Unfortunately for New England, in the rest of the final quarter, they played as dismally and as lethargically as they had the whole game. They could not hold on to the ball, and they could never find the right receiver. Always, it seemed, there was another different Chicago Bear waiting in the wings to extract his own share of glory. Number 51, linebacker Jim Morrissey returned Grogan's errant pass 47 yards to the Patriot 5-yard line. Despite their comfortable 34-point lead, there was one piece of unfinished business still left for the Bears. After 11 years and almost 15,000 yards rushing, there was one jewel missing from the many royalties Walter Payton's legs had carried him to, a Super Bowl touchdown. Payton and the Bears' offensive line gave it all they could, but the Patriots managed to deny the man they call sweetness what would have been the sweetest icing on a career that's still far from over. The Patriots were backed up against their goal line. On the sideline, their players, like prideful but losing boxers, were perhaps looking to the clock to save them from further torment. But number 70, defensive tackle Henry Waxter, gave the Patriots a further lesson in just how deep and indomitable this Bears defense can be. The safety against New England was perhaps the most symbolic of scoring plays, and this the most lopsided of Super Bowls in the game's 20-year history. The Bears defend with what they call the 46 defense, a tribute to Doug Plank, a former Bears safety who happened to wear number 46. If Plank had been watching, he had to be pleased. Not only do the Bears do justice to his number, but they match the name of their defense with the highest number of points scored in Super Bowl history. Head coach Mike Ditka was also pleased with his 36-point margin. So pleased that he found the time to give third stringers like quarterback Mike Tomczak and running back Thomas Sanders a taste of what it's like to play in a Super Bowl. Their experience may have been less than memorable, but it paled in comparison to the many bad memories this Patriots team would take back to New England. Like both the Rams and Giants before them, the Patriots found that playing the Bears in the playoffs can be a haunting and humiliating experience. As the final seconds ticked away, all that was left was the Bears' victory celebration, something they had spent many weeks practicing for. Among those who have extra reason to rejoice was number 95 defensive end Richard Dent, the game's most valuable player. Despite the individual achievements, this was above all a team accomplishment and a story of the fans' effort as well. Because the story of the Super Bowl is also the phenomena of the Chicago Bears, a team whose free-spirited nature captured the imagination of a country. In addition to rabid fan involvement, the Bears' victory may have also ushered in the honoring of 2 coaches instead of 1. For the Chicago Bears are indeed a hybrid personality of the 2 men who lead them. Mike Ditka, their tough, inspirational head coach who provides their brawn, and Buddy Ryan, the defensive wizard who supplied the brain. Together, they were the singular reason behind the Bears' convincing 46-10 Super Bowl victory.
To the victor goes the spoils, and one of the spoils is a free player ride for the winning coach. He's a man who imprinted both his personality and tenacity on the Chicago Bears. He's their head coach, Mike Ditka.